Rebels, J-Dawg and L-Dawg back at 6 a.m., goddammit. And yes, we're recording this at 6 a.m., in case you happen to give a fuck. Anyways, which video? We're going over the video comments on Wifey back, goddammit. So, yeah, just 3 days ago that was posted? Yeah. So, yeah, jumping a little ahead, because she was kind of like, I didn't look at any of the comments, see what she read. I said, pull up shit that you think is good to ask, in case it's ones maybe I wouldn't ask. So I think it's kind of better to do it that way, because, as you know, guys, like, I'll just pick one myself, and maybe I'll skip over to something that she won't skip over. So she just went over that, and she probably wanted to pick up that video because she's on it, so curious what people are fucking saying. So that's the one we're going to go with. And then when I go do the backlog of videos, what am I still, 2 weeks behind or some shit like that? Close to maybe 11 days or something like that. I'll go back to whatever video left off, and I don't remember what the fuck one I did last. But I'll figure it out, and then I'll skip over this one when I get to that in line, because we're doing it now. So anyways, without any further fucking ado, let's see what the fuck we got, because I have zero clue.
All right, ready?
Yep.
This is from G-Man.
G-Man, goddammit.
Question for J-Dawg. You mentioned you like some hardcore punk. Have you any love for more extreme subgenres like thrashcore and or power violence? New format is great. She probably asks questions you might not pick for yourself.
Well, the hardcore question I definitely answered multiple times, so no need to dive into that again. In case you want to know my favorite punk band, Misfits, favorite hardcore band, Negative Approach. As far as power violence, am I drawing a blank or am I a poser? What I don't even know what that is.
What is power violence?
Well, I just asked. I don't know.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of it. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what that is.
So did I ask a shitty question?
No, so you can maybe...
well, G-Man, what's power violence?
Yeah, who are some bands? Throw them in there. Maybe it's just another fucking subgenre name. Oh, that sounds like I just call them death metal. But,
right.
Or maybe it's like... What I'm kind of thinking, I'm thinking like maybe death metal mixed with hardcore, and I'm drawing a blank as far as newer bands, something that would title themselves and they call it power violence.
When I hear violence, I think like...
Yeah, because maybe like, for example, when Exhumed was a brand new band and they did the album Gore Metal, let's say people didn't hear it, they just say we're in the year 2000, that album came out in 98, and maybe they stumbled across it. If you said you like Gore Metal, someone would be like, what the fuck's Gore Metal? You know?
Sun is coming up.
So, yeah, it's coming up fucking bright and early, goddammit.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Just a comment from Patrick Frantonio. I think I know him. Yeah? We were almost related?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he says, dude, come on now. Red wine is neither snobby nor gay, especially when you drink it out of a giant plastic cup and horns up.
Have to agree with that.
Yeah.
Fucking, yeah, red wine. Looks like goddamn goat blood, goddammit.
Oh, my God. All right. This is RJCJ Rock.
He comments quite a bit.
All right. Hey, J-Dawg, what's your most hated band? For me, it's either Infant Annihilator or Five Finger Death Punch. They are both unlistenable, poser garbage for absolute canoes. Fucking canoes, sorry.
It is for some canoes. That's for damn fucking sure. Most hated band, and I know you guys are sick of hearing about them, but I would have to go with the fucking Slipknot.
No.
But again, I'm sure I could find something that's more unlistenable. Hell, fucking if Stalag and Abruptum for me are probably more unlistenable. But as far as just hated bands, just because of the fan base that came with it, that associated them with the with fucking Embalmer, for fuck's sakes, just hated them for that reason, and that they got lumped in, and that people were considering them. They even were in the early '90s. I've heard some people have the audacity to call them death metal. I'm fucking offended.
Who?
Just dick lickers and like. Just idiots.
Douche canoes?
Yeah, total douche canoes. That don't know any goddamn better. Don't be using my fucking term. So yeah, I would have to go with them. But again, not because musically I think it's the most unlistenable thing. Like I said, I'm sure I can find something more. In fact, I think probably Limp Bizkit or something is probably worse. But at least with them, Limp Bizkit kind of got coined a little bit in them. But I never heard anybody call Limp Bizkit death metal. If anybody...
Limp Bizkit rap?
Right, and that's why it appealed to Slipknot fans too. Most people, but the people that just kind of listen to Limp Bizkit and maybe not Slipknot stuff, they at least had enough brain cells to know that there's rap in there. So I never heard anything too appalling. I definitely heard people call Limp Bizkit a metal band, but it wasn't to the same degree as Slipknot. That's why they were the most annoying. So I'd have to say they were my most fucking hated band by a mile. And who would it be nowadays? It would be just that deathcore, metalcore, new metal garbage. Which it sounds like, I'm pretty sure those are the bands you mentioned, was that, yeah, that shit's beyond garbage. And it's annoying because they definitely get lumped in with, that's what people think the average person out there thinks death metal is now. They think that shit. It's Pretty goddamn fucking annoying.
It's annoying to be lumped in with things that you don't like. I mean,
That it is.
I think with anything, you know.
Yeah, plus, I mean, like I've always said too, with the metal scene too, and that's why it's kind of so passionate for people like myself, is because it's not just the music you listen to. I'm going to put something on the player or listen to. It's a lifestyle and it's a way of life in a sense
Right.
when you're
Yeah.
really deep into this. And when someone's kind of pissing all over it with their fucking bullshit, it's
I love that.
it's a bit fucking offensive. You know what I mean? So,
All right, ready?
and ready,
This is
goddamn.
from Decapitator. Is Matt Harvey the best metal musician ever? Dude has covered all genres, and every album he's on is great. Waiting for the third Decapitator album.
Well, I don't know if I'd go as far as calling him the greatest musician of all time. I mean, that might be a stretch. Probably the fucking coolest musician I've ever met
Right.
on a personal level, and he's definitely done tons of shit that I like. And he's definitely a passionate fucking metalhead, and I guarantee you don't listen to no fucking shitty ass Slipknot. Um, but I mean, if you're to go by just talent, I mean, I'm sure somebody would say somebody like Dave Lombardo, you know,
Yeah.
Slayer drummer, and but I would respect the opinion of Matt Harvey way over Dave Lombardo because I don't think I've never watched an interview with Dave. I don't even know if I've ever heard Dave Lombardo's voice. I don't think so. I've never watched an interview with him or anything like that, and I've never met him. But I'd imagine that I mean, he's not listening to Repulsion, Cryptic Slaughter, and stuff like that. I'm sure he's listening to, you know, classic rock stuff, which understandably so. That was when he grew up. You know what I mean? He's on Show No Mercy, 83, and I don't know how old he was there, but I don't know, 18, 19, 20, somewhere around there. So grew up in the 70s. So, you know, I mean, does he even listen to Bathory or Possessed, which theoretically, I mean, if he's really into metal, he technically should. Those were of his time. I mean, Bathory was 84. That was 1 year after fucking Show No Mercy. Was he already burnt out by then? But the thing is, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't even listen to that. I have no idea. That might be his favorite album of all time. So chill the fuck out if I'm wrong. I'm very possible could be wrong on that. But if he didn't like Death Scream Bloody Gore, if he doesn't like Hellhammer, if he didn't like like I said, the first Bathory and stuff like that, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if he did either. But I wouldn't be shocked if Charlie's here, fucking cheering it up. It's going car crazy. So yeah, I would respect the opinion of someone over like Matt Harvey of that, and then another talented musicians, you know, rest in peace, Chuck Schuldiner. I mean, he admittedly even said, fucking towards the end, I don't even think he even like that model. I mean, I don't know if he said those exact words, but definitely insinuated it. And Trey Azagoth, do I even need to comment on Pokemon?
No.
I mean, the fuck, I'm not going to ask this guy for shit. But is he a talented musician? Fuck yeah, he is. Of course, absolutely. No doubt
What I
about it.
like most about this comment or question is that he has covered all genres. I mean, let's look at all his bands.
Even now with Pound or heavy metal,
Exactly.
But yeah, he's never done black metal. To my knowledge.
Uncivilized was amazing. Sounded great.
Yeah, I thought the Pounder stuff was okay. It was a little.
I liked it. It's more my style than his, for sure. But Breaking was great.
Yeah, that was okay.
I think but he has covered like most genres as well and been successful with it.
Yeah, I mean,
So
pretty much.
Is he
everything
the best?
I mean, everything he does is definitely respectable. But yeah, my bread and butters, I love Exhumed, and I don't like nearly as much, but I'm a pretty big fan of as well as the Gruesome as well. I mean, it's a total death ripoff, which I mean, obviously he even said that at MDF. He's like, in case you guys, what do you say in there between songs? Usually, Matt was known for that too. In the early Exhumed days, he would say tons of funny shit in between songs. And in Gruesome at MDF in like 2016 or something, he's like, yeah, so in case any of you guys out there thinking that we're a death ripoff, just so you know,
we are.
Yeah, we are fully intended.
That was my first Death Fest.
The Maryland Death,
that was my first one that year, which was amazing.
But
and so I love this comment. Let's see, ready?
Yep.
This is Jay Dinkins.
Joe Dinkins, Dog Man again.
Oh, I love him. All right. Have you ever listened to Cannabis Corpse? It's a Cannibal Corpse inspired weed themed band. The titles are a play on existing metal titles.
Yeah, I definitely listen to them. I think I own one LP for sure, maybe even two LPs. I think the one I own is Blunted at Birth. And it's been quite a while since I listened to them. I remember thinking the idea was cool and funny, and obviously, you know, such a Cannibal Corpse push. I was like, I gotta check this out. And that's how I checked it. I think I went up to My Mind's Eye and just picked up the LP. I think that's where I got it. And but I remember like not being blown away. I was like, I think I remember being kind of bored, but I have to go back and listen to it. But thought the idea was cool, and from what I understand, you know, Alex Webster, I saw his response, and
He
somebody
liked
said,
that,
yeah,
right?
well, I just thought it was kind of flattering and cool, and like said, yeah, it's when drugs are mixed in, we can see how creative you can really be. That was something to that extent was his reply, and
And I have to say,
so
like when we get into the shop, it definitely sells. It's
yeah,
not like
yeah, no, people
sitting
definitely pick it up, yeah.
on the shelf collecting dogs.
Yeah, because when it first came out, I thought, and I think maybe that's what they're,
You can have patches. They sell
yeah,
all the
but
time
I think initially it was just supposed to. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was just meant to be a side project, and I think they just had more ideas like, hey, let's do another album or whatever.
on the side
So
project question. Remember?
yeah, no,
Remember it from the other video? Asked you about side projects.
no.
Sorry. All right, are you ready? Head Split Records.
Dylan, goddammit. Thanks for the package, Dylan. I
Yeah,
got
thanks,
it,
Dylan.
and I've listened to only one or two of this so far. So, but yeah, thanks for the package. And anybody that wants to send J-Dog some care packs, fully appreciate it. God damn it.
Where did they send them?
The hell's that name address?
Yeah.
Send there, yeah.
Does Attention Justin or J-Dog?
Yeah, either or. Yeah.
J-Dog.
Yeah, especially you put that in there because they'll just give it to me. Otherwise, just the receiving girl's just going to open it up and think it's merchandise. But what the fuck? I don't know what PO for this. What the hell am I supposed to do with this shit?
So this is Dogman. Who are some of your favorite extreme drummers? Dennis the Menace from my pod has to be one of the most insane of all time. As far as unique playing style and speed, Steve Asham is one of the greatest of all time as well, no doubt.
And that's one from Dylan. That's what he
Yeah.
said. So he likes Dennis and Menace a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean Dennis is a really cool pick
One of
because
our
he does have
favorites.
a really cool drum
Got
sound.
a macaque tattoo right here.
Yeah, half and half. I have the other half.
Adorable.
But yeah, Dennis's drumming, yeah, I always thought was really cool.
Yeah.
And but as far as favorite extreme drummers, I mean, obviously Pete Sandoval. I mean, he's definitely one of them for sure, right? I mean, Terrorize Your World Downfall and fucking Ultra Madness, and that's pretty goddamn good. Max from fucking Christian. I like Paul. I like Paul's drum sound from Cannibal Corpse a lot. The drum sound on Tomb of the Mutilated, I love. Steve's a really good one. Yeah, Steve Ashim from DSI. No one really brings him up. It's funny because it's weird that no one really brings him up, but he's been on the fucking band since the demo, 87. He's on everything. He's in his fucking 50s and he can still fucking blast very well, which is pretty crazy. And I did notice in the last couple of years, people seem to kind of throw his name a little bit more. I say, oh, fuck, it only took 35 years for people to start talking about him. Because no one was ever talking about him. I always liked Kevin Talley's drumming on Dying Fetus. I like Doc from Vader a lot. One of my favorite death metal drum sounds was on is his name Steve? Was it on the second or third drummer for Immolation? My favorite drum sound is on Failures for Gods and Close to a World Below. I love the drums on that, just how they sound and his blasts. And then another one, I love the drums for Sinister when it was. Now he does vocals for him, I believe, which is fucking weird as hell. AAD or Odd or how the fuck you pronounce his name? Never got an official answer, even when I met him.
Odd.
When he just did drums, I loved his drum sound because even though he did blasts like standard '90s death metal, he just had its own style and sound. Like if it was just a drums only tracking, and that's all I said, I'm like, oh, this is Sinister. Like I'd be able to tell, as opposed to 99.9% of shit out there, I wouldn't be able to do that for. He just had a distinct fucking style to his blast and shit that I thought was always really cool and distinctive. So him, shit, there's a good handful for you there, right there. Goddamn it, those are definitely.
So who's your favorite standout? Like, where are you going right to? Drummer, best drummer ever.
I mean, I'd probably give the PC politically correct answer, Pete Sandoval. I mean, because according to fucking Jim Kanye when he was alive, he said, yeah, he's like the reason.
So it wouldn't be Jim.
Well, Jim said the reason he's not very good on drums. He's like, as soon as World Downfall came out, yeah. I stopped practicing drums. There was no reason to practice anymore. There's no way you're gonna be better than that. So that's what he says. So I mean, yeah, I mean that is pretty undeniably good. And another one I really liked, and we did a lot of guest sessions on shit like that. Like he's on Angel Corpse, The Inexorable, did some stuff for Nile. Was Tony? Can't think of his last name. His drums were insanely fucking fast. His blasts, some of the fastest ever out there, in my opinion. So Tony, I don't know. I can't. I know he's probably done other projects that I don't know, but him on The Inexorable and the shit he did with Nile and stuff was pretty fucking intense. I definitely loved his drumming as well. So I'll give you a pretty good goddamn handful.
All right. This is a little bit for me, I guess. This is from Mac Powers.
That was quite a bit.
All right. Hi, what is your wife's favorite bands? What bands does she hate or despise? Keep up with the great videos. So,
Take the floor.
I grew up with like a lot of 80s bands, Motley Crue, Poison, that kind of stuff. And then they were my gateway bands. You know, then I learned about other stuff and then I was goth as a teenager, so Cradle of Filth, Switchblade Symphony, stuff like that. Type O Negative, of course. But now the bands that I most like to listen to is kind of like horror punk, I guess. Lurking Corpses, I walk down the aisle to. Vladimir's, and then aside from that is like I guess maybe female fronted bands, Savage Master, Lady Beast, Sacred Few. But I definitely do love Mortician, Ozzy, Embalmer, Paul, of course. I grew up with Paul. So it's like I I got the best of all kinds of worlds. I still love my 80s hair metal, but I appreciate like the new music that's coming in. Duff Hammer, I love. Some of the newer ones I would think is well, it's not newer, but like Savage Grace, Athenar put me on to. That's what I'm jamming in my car right now.
It all got reissued kind of by High Roller, and
I had no idea who they were. It's amazing.
I just heard that Master Disguise maybe 2 or 3 years ago. We first got a bootleg version of it in, and then ironically enough, High Roller put it on. I just liked Master Disguise, the first album, but I was like, this is fucking great. I always knew the name. I've seen it, but I never listened to them. And probably partially the reason this stuff was not really available. And that's why High Roller did it, obviously. But yeah, I think that first Savage Grace album is really good.
It's so good. I also really like one of the newer bands we got in is Pharmacist. It's not right up my alley, but for some reason it resonates with me. I like it a lot. But one that DAWG put me onto is Devils from the Gallows.
Oh, the Devil. No, it's Devil.
Amazing.
Just Devil.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like all their stuff too.
Oh, man.
It's funny because Reaper always hated it. It's like, is that singer will get booed at karaoke?
No, he would not. Right. It's so good.
They just did what, 2 full lengths and EP?
And then we have the EP.
I liked all that shit. I haven't done. I don't know if they're done now because that last full length. It's been quite a while since it came out. But as far as heavy metal bands, I knew it's like just Black Sabbath worship. I thought it was fucking great.
So good.
Well, yeah, Reaper always busted my balls for years when that first came out.
Check it out. Check it out.
Yeah, Devil's great.
And then obviously like Non-Slaughter. It's not. It's. I can hear what he's saying. I know what he's saying.
Oh, like songs about the devil?
You don't like songs about the devil? I love songs about the devil, and I love Non-Slaughter. And I love the new lineup for sure. I think Noah's.
Yeah, I mean, for me, my heart will always be in him, Don, and even when Reaper and Zach were in it, but also when Dwayne and Brian were in it. That's the lineups.
But I think Noah's killing it.
No, he's doing a good job. The Kurt guys, they're good.
Sure,
and the new album with the whole new lineup, Red is the Color. I thought was a great album. It's just the only song. They have one song on there I didn't like. As the Casket Lid Creaks. Yeah. I thought that was a turd and a half. Told down that, and it's like, oh, that's Joe's favorite song. I was like, dude, that song sucks.
So, well, the second part of this is like, what bands do I despise?
Tell me.
I think like the great thing about Justin or DAWG is that he's, even with our 13-year-old, like he keeps playing this music. So I don't really hate anything. I hate Abruptum. I'm sorry. Abruptum, guys. It's just like noise, like dishpan.
I think that's the intent though. But yeah, I know. I didn't get it.
Awful. Awful.
I didn't get it, yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. All right, ready?
Yeah, when I put on Abruptum, the only listen once it was the LPs. I put on the A side, I was like, there's no need for the B. I was like, this fucking sucks.
All right, this is DL. Hey, DAWG and Wifey.
DL stand for Dick Licker? All good fun, brah.
What are some death metal bands you'll recommend for us cults? Sorry.
Cults.
Yeah, sorry, cults. I'm dyslexic.
Too tough to smile, black metal guys. Yeah. For me, I mean, I really like I said, I keep telling you guys that Morgall, that Werewolf Records put out, I thought that was fan-fucking-tastic. So as far as newer bands.
Did you like the self-titled or Nightmare Lord better?
The self-titled was just an EP, and it was really good. I heard. I'm like, this is. I thought it was just going to be some screechy, crappy black metal. Like, this is great. But then Nightmare Lord being probably just because Nightmare was a full length. I was like, this is fucking. Again, I was like, let's see how the full length goes up, and I thought I instantly liked it, like very, very much so. It was the first black metal release I heard in a long time that I really liked. Most of the stuff that I heard, I'm like, it's cool. Like, the Vargrave and Holder. Yeah, Brethren Werewolf. Yeah, the Holder band that's pretty popular on Iron Bonehead. I was like, it's okay, cool. A lot of stuff trying to sound like Emperor and stuff. I'm like, but it's like it didn't blow my socks off. It's like it's good black metal. It's got the black metal spirit. It's good background black metal. But I was like, it didn't really grasp my fucking soul and grab me by the neck and beat the shit out of me. But Morgul really did. Who? Same Warman Lord. I was like, it's cool. Yeah. It's kind of just more, But
I like it better, I think, than Morgul a little bit.
So did the sales too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it definitely sold better. People liked it better. But for me, the Morgul, because it had the what I really liked about Morgul is it parts of it reminded me of Unlord with the blasts, but then it also had a lot of like guitar solos and lead that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah,
some of the parts I never read the lyrics and I can understand a lot of his words, and it's good evil lyrics, awesome fucking image. And just very, very ferocious, but without the songs being repetitive and with melody. And I'm like, it was just a good combination. And it reminded me in a sense, maybe just because I loved it so much in the first listen, it reminded me of Unlord, but I didn't think it sounded like Unlord just because it was so ferocious, but I could instantly tell all the songs apart. And you can just understand words and stuff like that, like, fucking, Unlord, Midnight in Hell, you know what I mean? Shit like that. And it's just like, it was just instantly like kind of almost like a tap your foot sing along, but it wasn't like a pussy album, just because it was doing like just a mid-pace, but it was very, very ferocious in speed still. So a lot of bands can't do that, like bands like Ethereal and shit. I like the idea that it's blast and extreme black metal. I was like, it's just all kind of blurring together. It's repetitive. I was like, I can't really tell most of it apart. I was like, it's cool, you know what I mean? But I was like, I can't really differentiate for the most part. It's just kind of blurring together. Abigor was another band. You've got a lot of those. I was like, it's cool. It's solid black metal. I was like, but it's just, I don't know. It's just not really grabbing me and holding my attention. I was like, it's solid stuff.
I like what is it? It starts with Halzard from Abigor. It's like Halz.
Oh, the whole I like
that. That I like.
It's solid black metal, and I like seeing that shit now they get reissued. I like seeing that stuff come back out because I remember when that was coming out. We were getting them in the early Hell's days. Oh fuck, I haven't seen these in forever. Like they sold out, and never reissued. So I like seeing it, but it's just for whatever reason, like it's a background listen for me. I find the black metal category.
Well, we reissued at Hell's the 3 Unlords, right? On Digipack. They're amazing.
LPs are coming.
Wait, so what's your favorite one?
Well, the first one, Schwarzwald. That was the first album, and I picked that up when that was the only album out. And I like that just that first song, Infernal Bazaar, when it kicks in, was crazy. I was like, holy! Yeah. I remember when I heard that. I think I was 16. I was like, holy fuck! And I used to have an Unlord necklace too. That's how much a big fan. I still have it. Yeah, I used to wear that all the time as a teenager.
We should.
That's how much. No, I won't keep it. But I mean, that's how much of an Unlord fan I was ever since a teenager. So when you get to do business with it and reissue to give it out, and there's tons of people that even ordered from Hell's from the channel saying, "Hey, I picked this up because you recommended it." Some people are like, "Oh, I remember this band. I forgot about them." Some people I never heard of this band. I checked it out. Holy shit, this is fucking great. It's kind of cool that you're coming back.
Amazing.
Yeah, so stuff like that, I like. Cool. That's when it's really passionate because it's stuff I grew up on that I love, and now that's coming out. And they've never been on vinyl, except Gladiator's only been on picture disc. That's it, which I have that. But we're doing all 3 on vinyl. It's taking fucking forever, but to my knowledge, it shouldn't be too much longer.
Everything is taking.
So that would be the first time all 3 have been on vinyl. So you definitely want to get those. Goddamn, we're at 24 fucking minutes. Well, that's the last goddamn question, whether they like it or not. Tough fucking shit. We'll squeeze on the next video. See you on the next one, Devils. Questions, comments, concerns, put them in there. Goddamn, we'll get answered at 6 a.m. again. Later, motherfuckers.